they're having a much more sort of medium to longer term view on this market. Clearly, there's going to be some ups and downs, and we're seeing some headwinds at the moment now. There could be some tailwinds come through later on. And I think their end game is, looking at the end of or mid to end to 2022, when they'll essentially be back at full capacity. They're hoping that the market will be resilient enough, with demand continuing to recover, that they can take those additional barrels of oil. But certainly for the moment, they're willing to let the market run a little bit hot, just to keep their steady path in place in case we see some headwinds hit the market.
Okay, so you don't think that OPEC needs to be more aggressive on top of that 400,000 barrel per day increase that it's currently working on? And you mentioned some of the headwinds. What could those be? Are we talking about a resurgence in COVID cases as we move into the Northern Hemisphere winter?
Yeah, look, I think they're certainly keeping some in store in case there are some issues down the track. I think the resurgence of COVID cases is certainly an issue which they've highlighted in the past. And when you look at some of the key consumers, particularly China, being the second largest consumer of oil in the world, they're maintaining this zero COVID strategy, which is resulting in these focused and short-term sort of lockdowns and restrictions remaining in place. And that is really weighing particularly on transportation fuel. We've seen jet fuel demand actually really subdued of late, in particular, with their borders still closed. But even internal domestic flights are really struggling to grow there. And even with restrictions around Beijing and the like in recent times, we've seen gasoline fuel demand suffer as a consequence. So, look, I think that was enough for them to just be patient and to play it out and see how things progress over the next couple of months. But certainly, as it stands, the market is pretty tight. But I suspect if they did add more barrels of oil than the 400,000 they've scheduled, then they potentially have to wind back some in coming months if that started to weaken again. So I think it was a prudent decision. Obviously, in the shorter term, I think it's going to put upward pressure on oil prices, though.